Hi, Dave Guilfoyle here with GE Aviation. Today I want to talk to you about the CRJ200 engine oil remote replenishment system. The system provides a quick and simple way to service the engine oil without having to open the cowling. Normally easy to use and reliable. There are a couple of issues to keep an eye out for, however, to prevent adding too much oil to the engine oil tank. Over-servicing the engine oil tank can result in a high oil temperature and service disruptions. So today we'll take a look at the components of the system, we'll go through a quick basic operation, and we'll talk about some of the ways to make sure we don't over-service. Most of the system components are here in the aft equipment bay. The oil replenishment tank contains the engine oil for servicing, and it features this sight gauge. The oil replenishment pump moves the oil from the tank to the engine. The oil replenishment selector valve directs the oil to the left or the right engine, and the oil level control panel energizes the system and contains the indicator lights. The remainder of the components are here on the engine. The engine oil tank contains the oil for use. It has a cap with a dipstick. The service line carries the oil from the aft equipment bay to the engine oil tank. The oil level probe senses when the engine tank is full and turns off the pump. Now this is one area where we need to be aware of possible problems. If the probe fails, the pump may overfill the tank, resulting in high oil temps during operation. Down here on the engine is the engine lube and scavenge pump, which delivers the oil from the engine oil tank to the engine components for operation. The pump has a check valve here in the oil filter assembly, which can also cause problems. The check valve prevents oil from draining from the engine oil tank through the pump and into the accessory gearbox. If that valve leaks, it can make the tank appear to be low, which can lead us to over-service the tank. The aircraft maintenance manual contains the instructions for remote replenishment. We'll just walk through the basic operation. First, and most importantly, we make sure that we are servicing the engine within the time limits in the manual. If we wait too long after the engine operation, the check valve on the engine may be leaking and oil could have migrated into the accessory gearbox, which would give us a false low level indication in the tank. If we can't service the engine within the time limits, we'll have to dry motor the engine per the maintenance manual to move any oil that has leaked back to the engine oil tank. If we are within limits, we turn on the power switch and monitor the indicator lights. The power light should come on, and the left hand full and right hand full lights may or may not illuminate. If both lights come on, the engines do not require servicing. If either or both of the lights stay off, then we'll press the test to make sure the light circuit is functional. If the lights test okay but go back off, the engine requires servicing. Record the amount of oil in the replenishment tank before servicing. We rotate the selector valve to the left or right engine, whichever one we're going to service first. The pump will come on and the oil will move to the engine oil tank. While we are servicing the engine, it is very important to monitor the sight gauge on the replenishment tank. There is a limit in the manual that specifies how much oil we are allowed to add to the engine before we need to look for problems. Normally, the oil fills the tank, the full light comes on, and the pump stops. Record the amount of oil on the sight gauge, and the service of that engine is complete. If the full light does not come on before the servicing limit in the manual is exceeded, we need to stop and find out why. It may be that the oil level probe circuit has failed and the tank is over full. We can tell by removing the oil cap. Be careful, the oil tank may be over full and oil may spill from the tank. If the tank isn't full, it may be that the check valve in the lube and scavenge pump is leaking, and we may have to dry motor the engine to see if the tank fills back up. The troubleshooting figures in the maintenance manual will direct you through the specific steps. The important thing to remember is to monitor the amount of oil that you are using during the servicing to prevent over-servicing of the system and the resulting high oil temperatures. Well, I hope this has been helpful and made the system a little clearer for you. Thanks for your attention and for all the work you do every day keeping our engines flying safely. Have a great day.